Hello everyone, welcome to Below. It's one of the few games where the main menu doesn't have the actual name of the game, but this is Below. It's made by Capybara. Capybara helped make the Shipwrecked DLC for Don't Starve, fun fact. Anyway, they finally released this game. I actually forgot how slow the cinematic is, and it's really just zooming into your character from more or less space. So I'm going to skip the cutscene, or maybe I'll just speed it up. Okay, I can't stand it anymore. It's just zooming in on your boat. It really is. It's very atmospheric to see it the first time, but man. So I should just let you know, for people that are just stumbling on this channel thinking that I'm just going to blindly play through it, I already know most of the game. My save file corrupted, and I lost everything. There was no way to get it back. I was nearly done with the game. But I refuse. I refuse to give up. Although, I might give up if it corrupts again that far into the game. Either way, this is sort of a tough game to describe. It's very tough, it's very punishing when you die, and you only know so much at the beginning, or really throughout the game. You really don't know why you're here, you're just some adventurer. I think they call the Wanderer, and I can't go in that way yet. And the point of it is to get to the bottom of this island and find out what's down there and not die. Easier said than done. You do that with the help of picking up little things on the ground and combining them. It's sort of a crafting game, but it really isn't. It's simplistic in its difficulty, but that doesn't mean it's not difficult. I died so many times, but I really badly wanted to play this again to get to the end to see it, because I was collecting everything. I was doing it right. And I wasn't looking at any guides or anything, and then it just stuck at the loading screen forever. Otherwise, I recommend this game. I can already say, I've played this enough to say, I recommend the game. It is a bit hefty. It's $20, but this is one that I actually did pay for myself. I did not get the dev to give me a copy. But you know what? I'm fine with that. The gameplay plays a lot like your typical Zelda game. You can attack and you can hold your shield. And you can do like a running attack. But that's about it. You have a few other weapons that you can get throughout the game, but mostly your shield and sword is your bread and butter. It's the one that you'll always start with, no matter how many times you die. And I need to go get the other most important thing in the game, which I'm not going to tell you very early. This game was in development for very, very long. I'm not sure what the trouble was, but it's a very cool game. If you're wondering why won't I zoom in? Not that kind of game. Can't zoom in. It irritates some people that you can't. Not me though. I'm fine, I've got used to it. And it tells you pretty much nothing. Doesn't tell you the story, doesn't tell you how to make things, really. It doesn't tell you why there's this lantern in the middle of nowhere. But it does tell you the basic controls. So I have this lantern now. This isn't really a tutorial, but if you're here for a full walkthrough, you're not really sure what to do. I know most of what to do, so if you get to the right video, that'll show you what you need to know. I'll show you in a minute what there is to do. But I assume that since I know where most things are, it's not completely randomly generated, but it is somewhat each level, each floor. So I know there are shortcuts to get back, because when you die, right? I didn't have this before. They added this. You just had to figure out what to do to open it. Which, come on, you just got a lantern. Of course that's what you use. You'll be entering this door a lot. But yeah, you have to keep your little guy here full of food and water. That's just sort of more an annoyance than anything, but it's not. I don't know. I take that back. I could see how it's annoying to some people, but it does stress the fact that you can't just go in blindly. Like, there is some preparation you have to do, and you're rewarded for prepping a lot. Because when you die, you're not going to do much. You start with nothing again, except for your weapon. Alright, so here is the first area. You can only light a fireplace once, and once it goes out, it's not going to come back until you have a new wanderer that comes up on his ship, and you get whatever you need. So, that's why I didn't light that one. There was no need for me to. Now, that's the next item I have. So I'm going to... Oh yeah, I guess I might as well show you. So I'm going to equip my spear. You can only equip one of these at a time. But anyway, this is your lantern. You'll eventually get each piece filled. I don't know what happens when you get each piece filled. That's why I want to play it fully. Because I got many pieces before it decided not to load anymore. And I was really kind of furious that I got them all for nothing. But it shouldn't be too difficult now. I might die a couple of times out of my own stupidity. So also, some people tend to not notice you can do this, but you can spearfish in the game. You have to be in the water when you hold down the left click by default, and you got to be really close. And you got to make sure that they won't go away from you. It's not too time consuming, but you can kind of get them stuck around here and then they won't run away from you unless they sneak by. Nope. And these will just make... Oh, I think he went out the other way. It's not important to do every time. If you think you can get to food in time, this is just one of several ways to get food. So there's really no reason you should do that. Which way did I come? Oh, I came from the top. So throughout the game, there are shortcuts. Oh, I came from the bottom. My fault. Throughout the game, there are shortcuts so that if you do die multiple times, you don't literally have to start over. Oh, that's another fish. And some of the shortcuts are really good. Not only are they good for saving time, but they also usually have something near them. Some sort of treasure, so that you don't have to just delve into the below every time to get a quick start. So for instance, this is the first shortcut. If you remember, if I were to go out here... Okay, I gotta switch my weapon. So I gotta jump. If I were to go back out there, that would be the beach. I don't need to go back out there, so I'm going back. And as far as what to put in your slots, there aren't many choices. I think you should put a lantern in one and whatever you're using to heal yourself in the second one. You'll come across bombs and things later. But for now, for the majority, I think you want to have those two things. And since I won't be dying anytime soon, because I would like to think I'm good enough, I'm going to go ahead and light the fire so I can cook the food. Oh, right. My bad. I have to collect the water. So the same way you collect water is the same way that you drink. So when you drink, you also fill up your water. I know this is sounding like a tutorial because I just already know. But when you fill your water, you also fill any bottles you have. And if you see what I'm doing, you have to click the water first, and then you can make soup. If you have 3 meats, it's a 3 plus soup. Since I had a turnip in here or whatever, it was only 2. But to be honest, 2 or 3, pretty much the same thing, unless you're completely starving. It's not going to make a difference. This game has a lot of, well, not a lot of bugs, but the bugs can be detrimental. So that kind of sucks. There's your little torch thing just to be able to see better. That's really the only thing, and to cauterize wounds. Cauterizing wounds is important because somehow it heals you too, but cauterizing just, in this case, means to burn the wound so it stops bleeding. But I don't know why that would actually heal you, but in this game it does. Those guys are one of many enemies. These are the easiest enemies in the game. They will often run from you, but you collect little bits, as I call them, and probably others call them, to power your lantern. You can keep your lantern on all you want, but it drains those, so I don't keep it on. Plus I can see just fine right now. There might be... Oh, tab. See, it doesn't... Maybe it did tell me tab. Anyway, that's your map. That's how you know. The little dotted line means that's up, and then there'll be eventually a dotted line down, which means that that is where you're supposed to go. This is very foggy. And that is important because there are traps around. And that is a mouse I can grab to get more. But you don't want to just blindly go wherever. Ooh, I'm about to starve. Because there are traps that seem very unfair to some people. I just remember reading the things people had problems with in this game, and one was that you could run into a trap that would one-shot you. Literally one-shot, no matter what you're wearing. If you didn't see it, you were screwed. So I'm just harvesting a little bit there. Here, as I can tell you right now, is the way to the next floor, but we don't have the key. Each floor needs a key. Oh, and I forgot to mention, all these different items that drop on the floor have physics attached to them for some reason. So you can literally knock valuables off the edge. These bits, yeah, they fall off. It's not too bad because you'll always get more. So they made this really easy. You can just get this right here, but it'll be much further away in later levels. Okay, I put that in there, but there's still all these rooms to explore. You can find, or they're almost required. See, I'm not really sure what happens to win, because it doesn't tell you really an objective. So my objective in last playthrough and this playthrough is to find different pieces of the lantern, because I know that's one thing you can keep track of. But to be honest, I don't really know. Ooh, okay, so I'm full, so I might want to see if I can craft something. I can, because I know how. Somewhat. Yeah, so that's a plus bandage. That can actually heal me. This just stops the bleeding. Not too great. We'll just keep making stuff. You can pause it to see what they are. There aren't very many recipes. You're not going to be overlapping a lot. It's not like Terraria or anything. You essentially make bombs or mines, that type of thing. You make food, which is a separate category. You make different types of arrows. What is over here? You never want to assume that there's not something special. This game, the reason I like this game is because it doesn't tell you what's important. And it doesn't tell you when something will be helpful. At least not to begin with. You can kind of fill in. So I already came from this direction. But I didn't move all the fog out of the way. Just get the lantern here. Oh, you know what? I need to eat, so I'll just go ahead and eat a 3 and then fill up my water. So yes, this is sort of a walkthrough because I've played probably 90% of the game, but I'm still having fun, and I think I can make it faster than most people on their first playthrough. If someone beat me and it was their first playthrough, I'd feel pretty bad because this game doesn't tell you anything, and some of it's intuitive, but some of it's really, really not. And I kind of want to quickly show you guys where one of the pieces, what one of the pieces of the lantern looks like, and I know where one is, but I don't want to miss any because then I have to go backwards. Yep. Now, as you might expect, not all floors are grassy with a ton of rats that you can kill. It gets pretty icky pretty quickly. There's like 3 or so per. It gives you 25 at the beginning. Okay, so there's a reason why it gives you 25. You can make save points, sort of. And you might say, oh, well, that's perfect. That means whenever I die, I can go right there. Very true, but you can only go to 1. And once you use 25 on something else, that one disappears. And you might say, well, of course, you want one that's further away. But the thing is, you can't go... You can only go to it once. So if you're saving it to try to get to somewhere to fill in some blanks, to try to fill out your lantern, then you're going to have to die or take a shortcut back up. And that can get confusing quickly. Okay, so this is the second area. It will undoubtedly have our first trap. There it is. This thing, I've died to it many times. You think it'd be impossible to die to, but step on that and you start over every time. As a matter of fact, I didn't die to very many at the beginning. Ah, there we go. The bats aren't in much of the game, but they are very helpful. They don't really do any damage, but you can get loaded up on food. And I should have cooked more food, but I'll be fine. I'll see another place. So I'm stabbing up all of these things. So I'm just loading up on food and some leather if I can. Let's see here. Yeah, so that I need to get to a place just so I have that. But for now, I've never made that. I've never made that. Huh. I know what it is. I've gathered them before. I've just never made it. That is I don't know what they call it, but it's an arrow that pierces. It's a piercing arrow, but I don't think that's what they call it. I think they call it like a long shot arrow or something. Alright, we got that going. So now my objective is to find the light pieces on this floor. I don't have to. Really, all I have to do to continue is find the key for the next floor and then not die and then continue like that. And I can come back to it, but I really don't want to backtrack. Backtracking is good for when you are frustrated with an area. Why did I do that? I don't have any room for you. So when you have the lantern out, you don't have a shield, but you can sort of block. It's just a crappy block. A crappy bearer. Sorry, that was stupid. That was a stupid joke. I actually like those devs, even though they never give me what I want. Okay, got the key. By the way, if you get this key and you die, you don't have it anymore. You have to recover your body. And if you don't recover your body and you die again, your new body is your inventory. You lose whatever you had before. Trust me, that's frustrating if you don't go back. Okay, let's just see here. Okay, we're gonna go further to the right. I want to make sure that I know where I am, and I know more or less the direction I'm supposed to go. When I first played this, I got stuck on this level for so long, and I will show you later why. Okay, here's a trap that just makes you trip. But it also... Okay. Let's just... Yeah. I was going to say, you can actually wave your torch to get them to go away, but you don't get any of the stuff for it. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that already went off. Okay. One already... So, the thing is, traps can also hurt enemies. I love that. Enemies don't seem to hurt each other, so that kind of sucks, but whatever. Alright. So if you have any fire arrows, you can use this, or you can just wave your wand. Wave your magic wand in the form of a torch. I went here a long... Like, I got very much further than this before I realized I could come in here. Ooh, I'm gonna have to take that. Let's just eat something. Let's eat that. Vegetables are really useless. They're useful for finishing off a recipe, but if you have literally anything else, it's better to use that. So you can just eat the individual materials for less, like pretty much any other game. Oh, all my things are gone. I need a stick. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so the downside of the darkness is you can't see traps. Sometimes it gets really, really dark. Ooh, that's a string. I need a string. Eventually you'll know when you have some... Oh, no, I don't need a string, but I do need a string, on the other hand. So this can make... And once I get another goop, I can make the best bandage in the game, which is... this one! The salve strap. So I just need some goop. Hey, buddy. Don't you run. Okay, so we're going to go down here because that is where it says to go. I want to make sure I don't miss any of my magic lantern pieces. Also, you can play this. It is fully supported by a controller. However, you don't want to. The controls are really as good as they could be, but they're horrible. Like, the impreciseness of aiming will just get you killed. Especially with the bow and arrow. You do not have time to be aiming like that. It's not going to happen. Alright, this is the next area. I'm pretty sure. Yep, it is. So I'll go ahead and put that key in before I go back. Because I do need to go back. There's a bit of backtracking if you don't know the right way. Or if you want to make sure you... Here we go. Whop. Whoa, almost dead. That's another thing the lantern does. It highlights your traps. Alright. I don't have a freaking... Let me out of here. The floor will not change, and you won't miss your lamp. I mean, you won't miss your map. I don't know why I said that. Your map will stay intact as long as you're alive. When you die, you get a new map. You have to start all over. because I don't think the areas are exactly the same every time. Regardless, even if they are, they're not that different. But all the traps reset, all the enemies reset. So it can be frustrating. If I were that type of person that we all know that throws their controller when they lose, I would have done it a lot. It was very frustrating to die. Later in the game, I really didn't die here. Not saying I won't. It's a game that is going to seem pretty short, I guess, for $20, but it's fun. I'm pretty forgiving when I talk about any game, really, but this it is fun. Ooh, you thought you'd get to see me take damage. Not yet. Okay, we gotta get out of here. This is a fun little part coming up. Really? You flew that far? Okay, goodbye. There's a decent amount of misdirection, too, before you get a handle on what's what. So, you don't really know the right direction to go. That's kind of the whole point. This is kind of just a maze after maze. Nope. You're not going to attack me. Ooh, I need that branch. So I can make a good lantern. Oh, I'm not going to make that then, because I used all my strings. That's alright, those are good. Those are good. Also, just in case you're wondering, yes, I have died by trying to activate a trap, being too close to the trap, and jumping into the trap. Hopefully this will be... I don't know why it wouldn't unless I get... unless I have to start over again, because that's just ridiculous. But hopefully it will be a complete walkthrough, getting all the pieces, getting any secrets. I know of some secrets, there's no way I know all of them. That's what makes this game great. Now that I have a string, I can make another torch. No. Oh, okay, so it automatically puts it back in your one, even if you don't have them. That's another thing, it erases your your UI every time you die. So, like, if you have torches bound to 1 and bandages bound to 2, no. Okay, since I know exactly where I'm going. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go over here first. Let's just turn that off. This, when it's outside, you know it's kind of a shortcut type of deal. You know it's not going to send you further. This is just kind of a extra area. Sort of. I mean, it is important. Definitely important to 100% the game. Okay, we're going to get this. We are going to turn it blue just in case. And then figure this out. So we got an attack up, which is actually pretty rare. I used to get them a lot at the beginning, but then I couldn't make them anymore because you have to have that specific mushroom. Making anything other than straight food requires a mushroom, and there's like 4 or 5 different types of mushrooms. So since I have so much, I'm probably going to eat again to fill that up. Yeah. This is a great area to come back to when you have to restart. You'll probably see me go back to it a lot, just because it has a lot of food available. It has random items that will make you coming back quicker. Potato and... You know what? Let's get rid of the innards. I learned near the end of my last playthrough, before it corrupted, that eating innards raw will make you sick, as you might think. Yeah, they do. They make you very sick. Oh, really? I'm still full? Yeah, let's get rid of those. Those are a lot easier to find than what other things I'm going to go after. So just because I know where things are, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to get this stick. I think I have to drop something. Nope, I don't. And I would kill that fish on another playthrough because everything respawns. Before we end this episode, I'm going to make sure I get everything from here. This is really more of a, oh my god, I'm watching this guy play and he knows where everything is already. Yeah, kind of. That's quite different than what I normally do, which is flail around. Like my Hades playthrough, I didn't do much. What the? What? North Shore... Oh! That didn't spawn in my last one, and I've heard that it was a problem. Okay, so here we go. This right here, kind of glitched up, but it'll work. So you have to shine it when you see that bubble. That's how you get every single light piece in the game. And it won't show unless you're very close to it, and they could be anywhere, but they're... Well, I take that back. They're not anywhere. They are in specific locations every time. Anyway, time to float. If you see a door that doesn't look like you can open it with a key, that's more than likely a shortcut. In this case, it's a shortcut. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Drop one of these. Because I know that getting this goop, I can make this, which is another salve strap. Salve straps are great. They heal you fully. Okay, and then we'll pick that back up. Mushroom right there. So this is another place you can always know that you'll be able to make some salve straps because they have everything but the string. It just is a goop. One of these sea urchin things, whatever they're called. And that. So the Northshire Key, or whatever it was called, that didn't spawn for me last time, but I might have got it anyway. I might not have needed it. So now I don't actually know where that goes. Either way. Yeah, armor. So this is another thing, it's kind of self-explanatory, the armor. This is crappy armor, but it prevents one attack, period. So if you get attacked by a bunny rabbit, that doesn't exist, but if you get attacked by something crappy, just super weak, well, you just wasted your armor. Alright, I don't think there's anything over here. I wasted a lot of time in this open area the first time I played. So really I should know whether there's something over here or not. But there are plenty of random bugs. I don't want to say that to dissuade anybody. I'm gonna go here just to make sure. And everyone who's been a fan of me probably knows that I hate open water areas, so this made me feel a little uneasy. But it literally doesn't let you go any further. There's no reason why it matters. I don't know why it suddenly got so dark there, but I believe that is all, folks. Let's go turn in the key, I think. Maybe the key goes to that dead end. The one that I said was a shortcut. It didn't seem to stop me that I didn't get it. So I don't know. You probably have been wanting me to go up here for a while. So this is... Was that the Northshire key? It was. Okay. So now, I don't know if I have to go up here or not to activate it. But this is our first really legitimate... Yeah, there we go. So I don't know why that has that on there. Anytime you're unsure of something, make sure you shine your lantern on it, because you never know. Some things aren't clear. Anyway, went up to the top. That is a free, forever there shortcut. It doesn't save it. You don't think it would save you much time, but to be able to get to an open area like this with a couple of foxes for meat, things like that, definitely worth it. Okay, so that is, I think, everything from that area. So now where do we go? Further down. And I think I have a... You almost always want to use your torch instead of your lantern, because your lantern... Well, actually, I take that back. I want to show you something that I did not realize until well after. It took me a long time. And I probably won't be able to do it for a while. Oh, just 1 second. Alright, so just to show you what you have to do, or what it looks like when you die, I died. Just kidding. I mean, it does show you. You get all your stuff back. But my point was that I died of starvation. I went away from my computer for longer than it takes to starve. So I died. You didn't have to see that. Now I have another adventure that kind of looks like Link. Kind of. You can also get female wanderers. It doesn't really matter, but you can tell based on their higher pitched screams of agony. Other than that, you can't really tell, because there's just a tiny little bead of a person. Anyway, I'm back. I'm back to where I was. I don't want to deal with this right now. Let's just get him away. There we go. Ooh. I just heard in the distance someone got speared. Alright, there we go. I'm not looking for all these different things to get. Yep, that one is definitely activated. Now I do have a potion in my inventory that gives me double the amount. Wait, did I not? Oh yeah, I already made it. Right, okay. So I can just go on to the next one. I kind of do need to end this episode. So let's get to the end here. Bloop. Ooh, that was close to me dying. So nothing says you have to kill everything that's chasing you. You can get by them. Dodging is almost a definite need later in the game, because shielding things is just the lazy man's dodge for this game. Shielding opens you up to being attacked, because you will eventually flinch. No one wants that. So now I gotta re-find the exit, but usually the exit is just south in some form or another. That's not always true, but the exit definitely will be south of whatever screen you're currently on. Whoopsie. And there is the exit. So I'm not going to look around. I'm just going to go. I already got a piece on this floor, and I'm not going to say that it is definitely always one piece per floor, because it isn't, but most of the time it is just one piece. And it'll tell you if you missed one, because it goes, as far as I know, in order. So going around this way, and then the outside, sort of. So yeah, if you missed like the third one, that's the third one, that's the first. So you would know to go to the 3rd floor. More or less. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. I'm going to continue to a special area, a very important special area at the end, or at the beginning of next episode, so please be sure to subscribe to continue watching. Thanks for watching. See you then.